Alright, welcome. Episode 10 of the Late Cut with Josh and Caleb. It is just me and Caleb today. We are in level 2 of lockdown. We've had a couple of weeks off. We decided to take a bit of time, reassess a few of the directions that we as a podcast are going in, and here we are. We're back. Caleb, how are you, mate?
Is that really a question we want to be talking about today?
Yeah, Caleb's going through a little bit of heartache at the moment.
For those of you that know me, those of you that know, I'm having a bit of a difficult time at the moment. One of the reasons why we probably haven't pushed to do a podcast in the last couple of weeks, I've just been going through a bit of stuff. Yeah, if you want to know what's happening, you can message me. I won't reply because, yeah, if you need to know, you'll know, and if you don't need to know, you're not gonna know. Kind of like that. So let's get on with stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to show some support for our dear friend here, comment on our post. Today's episode is going to be our first official episode that goes up onto YouTube. So another string to our bow that we as a podcast are adding. So yeah, chuck a bit of support behind our young mate here who's got his glasses on. And
the one episode where I'm not looking my best and not feeling my best, and we're broadcasting it to the whole world. So in 20 years with my grandchildren, 20 years of grandchildren, that's not going to happen. I hope that doesn't happen. That would be traumatizing to be a grandfather at 45. In 20 years when my children are hopefully around 8 looking at it, they'll be like, "Oh, Dad, were you on a podcast?" I'll be like, "Yeah, that was a tough week, kids." Yeah. So.
Yeah. We actually videoed our last episode with DJ Yarno, so we might chuck that up again, or chuck that up into our public Late Cut with Josh and Caleb channel over the next few weeks to see how we go. We're still waiting to hear back from him in terms of his video and his sound check, because that sounded like it was going to be a bit of a classic.
Yeah, that was back when I was happy.
Caleb, have a little play with it, mate.
Hey, if I had a little play with it, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Very true. Very true. So on today's show, we're just going to go over a few current affairs topics that we have at the moment. Some stuff that's really interesting for us, and we think will probably be pretty interesting for you. All right, are we ready to go, Caleb?
Are we ever ready? But sure, let's try.
We're good to go, mate. So I was just reading before that Jeff Bezos from Amazon, 2026, he is due to become the world's first trillionaire. Do you know how many zeros we'll give him?
Was that trillion? Is that like 12 zeros or something?
12 zeros. I can't even get 2 zeros. I can get 1 0, 2 zeros. Holy shit. It's a tough one.
Oh, well. Just keep working at it, buddy. You'll get there.
What do you think would give us? What do you think would get us that kind of money? Like, what could we do to try and get that kind of money?
If I started an OnlyFans account and we advertised it towards the gay community.
Okay.
That would get us somewhere probably. Or Asian girls. Asian girls love Caleb. I don't know why. The gay community or Asians, if we did that, we'd make money. Probably really good with the Asian community because China has got like a lot of people. So you take into account like China and Asia as a continent, probably. This is just an assumption here, but I'd say it's probably like the largest population in the world. If every Asian person, female that is, donated $1 to my OnlyFans, that would probably make me like $1 billion. And then I could I could go to the casino and put all of that on 13 on roulette, and hopefully things worked out my way. If not, that would be fine because I just repeat the cycle until it worked. And then what life is, just repeating the same old cycles over and over and over.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, as you can see, we're wearing a couple of branded pieces of apparel. What brands do you like, Caleb? What's your go-to clothing brand?
Well, for my underwear, I wear Calvin Klein. For my shoes, I like to go towards Nike. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I shop Nike, but that's mainly because I like to go to Dressmart because I have a lot of spare time during my day. Because I don't work 40 hours a week. I work less than that because I don't see the point in working 40 hours. And Nike Dressmart usually has some nice people to look at. Yeah.
Do they? Oh, I've never noticed.
Oh, well, I'll take you there next time up.
Shout out to Mel and Dee, who used to work there, don't anymore. So
yeah, and there's a couple people there I know. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are.
Kids, are they like kids that you coach?
Oh yeah. There's a kid I used to coach. He's there now. There's a couple of girls that go to play football with that works there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I say with, more like against, and I don't think that my team ever actually won, but kind of used to that in our life, aren't we? We never win anything.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've won a few things, so yeah.
I've won. I'm just trying to think. What did I win? Well, I'll come back to it.
You won a free trip to the States that one time.
Oh, kind of won 2 free trips to America, but was it really winning? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, let's probably not touch on that subject, because that's probably another touchy one for you.
Yeah, there's a few things I forgot had an impact on my life until the last couple of days, and I was like, oh shit. Oh well. You've just added another one to the list, Josh. Good work.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. For me, I am an Adidas supporter, as you can see. I find that they've got the best variety of clothes. Sometimes I shop on at the Adidas.com store, get some pretty good stuff. Boots are pretty nice because I'm a prop and I've got wider feet than our traditional backs. Nike boots don't really fit, so it's either Adidas or Asics boots. So that's me. Pretty plain and simple. Adidas. Black's my favorite color from Adidas or anything because I'm from West Auckland, so it's kind of just what we do. Caleb's from West Auckland too.
Well, what's a tough? I guess I don't know. There's Caleb's from a lot of places. Caleb is everywhere, and everywhere is Caleb.
Very true. Very true. All right. So I'm obviously in the rugby side. You're on the football side. I heard that there might be a professional football league about to start up, one of the big ones.
Oh yeah, the Bundesliga is being played. I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah?
Not really, I've got past that German phase in my life, so I'm not really into German things anymore. I got past that phase, so for those of you that don't know, Caleb can speak German. I don't know why I keep addressing myself as Caleb, anyway, I can speak German. Couple of reasons why I can speak German, but got past that stage in my life where German was a integral part of me growing into a man. So I don't really follow much German stuff anymore, but Dad's back. Korea's playing the Korean League. Don't care.
Didn't the Belarusian league just play the whole way through?
Yeah, they think they just played the whole way through. Then again, if anyone out there can name 5 Belarusian players in that league, I'll be very, very surprised. The only one I care about is the Premier League coming back, just 2 games, and then, I only have to play 2 more games, and then hopefully Liverpool can win the title, and then I can have a little bit of closure, because for those of you that don't know, I was actually there at the first game of the Premier League season, this season that's going on. So, kind of sum up my whole life.
Did you not see the release? Did you not see that?
We're gonna if the season doesn't finish, it just kind of, it's just not very good for my lack of closure in life with everything. It's just probably not the best if the season doesn't finish because I was there for the start. Kind of sums up my whole life where I'm there for most of it and then I don't get the closure that I probably fully deserve. But
yeah,
there's a lot of parallels here between football and my life. Everything.
Well, Caleb was in love. It's okay.
No, Caleb was not in love. Caleb doesn't know what love is. Love doesn't exist.
All right, let's divert from that track. So I'm excited for Super Rugby to come back. Super Rugby. What's that?
You said track. I've been on a few walking tracks.
Calm down. It's okay. So Super Rugby Aotearoa, it's coming back. I'm pretty excited.
Are the Blues still top of the table?
No, back to 0. But Beauden Barrett just ran a 4-minute 12 Bronco. 4 minutes 12. That is ridiculous.
Didn't one of your girls do it in like 5 minutes or something?
Yeah, so like a good time that we look at is like 5 minutes to like 4 minutes, maybe 40. Like that's a good time. Like, so it's what a Bronco is it's 20 meters there, back 40 there, back 60 there, back. So it's 240 meters per time. So it's 1,200 meters total. So it's 1,200 meters in, what time did I just say? 4 minutes 12. That's what he ran. So I'm not good at working out speed and velocity and shit, but that's pretty quick. Like it'd be one of the fastest times ever recorded potentially. Let's Google it. So we've actually got a new setup here. Like, so we've got different ways to do stuff, so we can do a bit of research while we're on our podcast. By the way, let's have a bit of a Google. World's fastest. What?
Would have been better if we got 420.
It would have been quite funny, but it just comes up with cars. That's all right. I'll find it out for next time. But 4 minutes 12 is an absolutely ridiculous time for anyone. So I know that the Blues all ran their Broncos today, so it'll be interesting to see some of the other times out of that. But yeah, back to 0. Everyone's on a clean slate. The draw came out the other day. I haven't got it handy, but I know it's coming back on the 13th of June. It's pretty exciting. The fact that we're going to actually be able to see rugby. Well, here's the draw. So first week, Highlanders, Chiefs, Blues, Hurricanes, Crusaders have a week off. And then it kind of just like you play around and then it's exactly the same draw for the second round. The Blues are paying $6. Those are some pretty good odds for them, considering the form that they were in pre-COVID. What do you reckon? What's a $6 bet for you? What do you reckon?
Oh well, if Beauden's playing, I'll probably chuck money on him, something to do with him, because me and Bodie go back. He wins me money.
That's true. I actually reckon that he could really make a difference. The potential of having him at 15 with Otere Black at 10, if Sam Nock comes back with the same form that he did, then that'll make a big...
Sam Nock, his cousin or sister just had a baby, so congratulations to the Nock family. They've had a new addition.
Congratulations to Sock and his family. I don't know
if he's met the baby yet because of lockdown and everything, but there's a new addition to the family. It'd be really awkward if they weren't related, though. I think they are.
Would be awkward, but excited to see Rieko Ioane back. He was in some good form. Obviously broke his hand early in the season, but did make a couple of appearances and was back just before lockdown. So you've got that. TJ Faiane is just continuing to be better and better and better. It's kind of hard to, I think it would be hard to ignore him for a black jersey sometime in the next 2 to 3 years. Still fairly young, but probably one of the better 12s going around in the country. Mark Talia and Joe Marchant. So that whole Blues backline is probably second best in the country. The Chiefs have got a good one, but I'll probably put them third. Crusaders will be first. They've just star-studded the whole way through. Highlanders would probably be fourth, although they're kind of missing a bit of star power. But the old Tunny Badger, Scott Gregory is down there, so you can't really ignore that. The Hurricanes are shit because they got no first five. So I actually was saying to a mate of mine that Colin Slade would be a really good pickup for them. He'd give them at least our first five, someone who knows how to play the position. He's been playing well over at Poe for the last 4.5 years. Former All Black, probably good enough to come back and be an All Black again. But, you know, it's exciting to see a few of these Super Rugby players, or ex-Super Rugby players, ex-All Blacks returning to the country to potentially have a crack. And obviously came back because of COVID and spent some time with their families and that in New Zealand. So it's going to be interesting to see how it affects everything and how we come out of it, because South Africa could end up in the Northern Hemisphere and Australia are all looking at ditching Super Rugby. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what comes of everything and how Super Rugby looks in the future. But, yeah. NRL, what do you reckon?
I feel bad for Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, just want to do some TikToks with some underage girls.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I had that many girls turn up at my house looking like the ones that were in the TikTok videos with him, I'd probably break lockdown procedure as well. Yeah, poor Nathan Cleary.
Fair enough.
Quick, I have it's not really a question, observation about NRL players and how they always seem to get themselves into shit more often than other sports codes. Now, I don't know, but or I don't know if you know either, but do NRL players do any media training when they're coming through the ranks? Because I'm assuming with New Zealand rugby, there will be a lot of media training from, like, I'd even say, like under 18 provincial, like if you get in that, you'd probably start doing media training pretty quickly. And I know that in football and most professional environments in the academies and that, those kids at like 16, 17 are starting to do a bit of media training, so they kind of know how to react. And I don't know if they do that in the NRL.
I know
and if
that
they do, I think they're doing it too late.
Yeah. I know that they were with the under-20s. Like, the under-20s were only paid like minimal amounts. They still had to work 40 hours a week, and I think they had to do like 2 or 3 classes a week within the NRL system. So, but obviously that was scrapped a couple of years ago. I think it was Toyota Cup, and then Holden Cup, and then it was Empty Cup. But I think maybe the problem's probably not the media training. It's probably actually, and I'm not one to bash the media, because obviously I've got history in it and I like to sort of try and work out exactly why things happen. But I reckon that it could potentially be almost like a paparazzi effect. Like, you know how in America, in Hollywood, the stories are all about the actors that are playing up and what they're up to and taking real weird photos and like always trying to find the bad side of them. I kind of think that that's almost like Australia, like, because it's not just league players in Australia. It's like all Australian sports. They're always in controversy. Like, think of last year. You had the cricket with the ball tampering. Was that last year or the year before? But anyway, ball tampering was still a massive thing last year. You had Israel Folau. You had all the league scandals. I mean, like, the first picture that anyone ever pulls up on a league scandal was fucking Todd Carney pissing in his mouth. Like, I don't want to see that all the time.
If that's the first one you're searching, you'll be looking for the one of the Raiders guy that was getting his he was getting the dog to do a bit of stuff for him. Was it John Monahan or something?
That was Mitchell Pearce, wasn't it?
No, Mitchell Pearce. No, this was ages ago. This was like 10 years ago, where there was a Raiders player and he was had his pants down and there was a dog licking his area.
Johnson.
It was and there was Mitchell Pearce wanting to do stuff to a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had Dylan Napa. That was an interesting one, eh?
I don't watch those types of videos.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that, like, look at all the Buddy Franklin stuff and what was it, Brendan Favola? Like, he was always in the media for negative stuff. So I think it's probably not league players and media training. It's probably just the Australian media is probably just a little bit paparazzi-like in terms of their approach. What do you reckon?
Maybe it's because as much as Australia likes to bag New Zealand for New Zealanders leaving, maybe it's the fact that all the famous Australians don't actually live there. And if they do, they keep very low profiles. And they just try and limit the amount of time there. Although if Margot Robbie, if you want to prove otherwise that you live over in Australia, feel free to send me a message and tell me where your house address is, and I'll come round to confirm that you actually live in Australia. So Margot Robbie, if you're listening, feel free to send me a message.
Rebel Wilson is also king.
No, I'd rather no. Rebel Wilson, you can live in Australia. That's fine. You can do whatever you like, Rebel Wilson. Although Rebel Wilson, if you're having Anna Kendrick over for dinner one night, feel free to let me know and I'll come and talk to Anna Kendrick.
Fair enough.
Pitch Perfect is a great movie. You should all watch it.
No.
Have you not heard the Cup song?
Do you want to play it for us on your guitar?
No, I'm not playing the Cup song on the guitar. The only songs I play on my guitar are sad songs.
Do you want to play us a sad song, mate?
No. I only play sad songs when I'm happy.
Okay. So I was doing a bit of research and was going through like the injury list for the NRL, and it's actually kind of ridiculous. I mean, especially the Warriors. Like, we had 2 players go down over the weekend. We got told of over the weekend. Should we kind of come up with a bit of a table for where we think teams could finish in the NRL this year? So this is a bit of our predictor.
Because I'm not going to predict anything to do with the Warriors.
Is it? Oh, no, fair enough. Yep. So we'll stay away from that. Sorry, guys. Caleb's family do own the Warriors, so probably not a good thing. But it's definitely.
We're hoping to do well this year. This is our year.
Definitely. But I do hope the Titans win it, because that's us. So it is quite worrying though, because all of their injuries are in pretty well in one place. Is there anyone out there you sort of know or think that they should probably target to sign?
I'm sure that the people that are involved in the recruitment process for the Warriors are looking for some good options, and I'm confident that whoever they sign will be the right person for the job. And if they aren't able to sign someone, then it'll be a decision that was not taken lightly. And I'm sure that they will spend the money they have wisely and bring in good players and build a good culture and propel the Warriors forward in the near future. But if you're looking for anyone, please bring back Nathan Cleary.
He would probably
be really. While you're at it, feel free to, maybe Ivan Cleary could come back as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 names. Whatsoever. What's that? In any role. He
doesn't have to go to any role.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 names of players that the Warriors should sign today that would make a massive difference to their season and propel them up the table. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
First one, Corey Harawira-Naera. He would be great in the back row. That way you push Adam Blair up the front. You potentially push Lachlan Burr up the front. You sort of take those players that are more one-dimensional, put them up into prop where all they got to do is run, and you add in a player who's in some pretty good form, and unfortunately had a bad off-field incident, which cost him his contract, but it wasn't deregistered by the NRL as far as I'm aware. So I think that would be a good pickup for them. Probably get him pretty cheap and bring him back home. So yeah, the second name, this one will be a bit controversial, and I'm picking this player would make a really good prop in the NRL because they're fast, strong, good ball runner, and they're quite destructive and they're not small.
Why don't they want to play rugby? Oh,
Julian Savea. Not you, mate. Julian Savea. Chuck him up the front in your forward pack. Like, I remember when they were talking about putting Manu Vatuvai into the forward pack a few years back, and I started doing it on League Live. I kept putting him at lock because he's a good ball runner and I wanted him in the team, but I couldn't justify having him on the wing because I had Dave Fusatua, Kemal Malo, play these young fellas out there a bit faster, chuck him up the front. Imagine bringing in someone like Julian Savea, who will bring you a bit of extra publicity as well because of the high-profile move. What do you reckon?
The Warriors are a really family-orientated club, and I don't think that having someone with Corey Harawira-Naera's past will be a good look on the club and the message that we are trying to get across as a organisation.
Okay, media department.
Julian Savea would be a very interesting choice, though.
He would be. To be honest, I'm looking forward to my Titans getting back out there. Got a few injuries, but a few players coming back from injury. Probably the player I'm most disappointed won't be there this season is probably AJ Brimson. Been on the up for a couple of years now.
Oh, he's out for the season again?
Well, he's out indefinitely. So I kind of probably think that if you're smart, like a GM should be, and you've got a short season that's going to be compact and it's going to put a lot of wear on the body, then have to go into another full season just 2 months later, probably the smart decision would be if you've got a player like that who's potentially a long-term halfback for you or fullback option, just kind of sit them out. Like, don't rush them back. If it gets down to 5 rounds left and he's just coming fit, just let him keep getting fit. I don't know. What do you reckon?
I don't know that I knew he was injured and knew he was going to be out that long. But yeah, there's no real point in pushing anything. Except in the NBA, if the season ever does start, I think the 76ers should make Ben Simmons play because I've got him in fantasy.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. See if those kind of sporting leagues come back. I haven't heard any news. I knew they were opening up a couple of states, but I haven't heard anything since. So it'll be interesting to see what the prognosis is from the opening of those, but I guess we'll see. To be honest, the other one at the Titans I'm going to miss is Ryan James, out for a second season with a knee injury.
He should just retire. He's always injured.
No, he shouldn't because he's the man. But he shouldn't leave the club. Why do you got to do this to me?
Has Jai Arrow left yet, or is he still there?
He's still there, but he's off at the end of the season. That's a massive loss for us as well. As a club, it's definitely hard to, I guess, keep developing these players. Like, we picked him up from the Broncos, and he wasn't really... Like, he's a good player, but he wasn't Origin quality. He became Origin quality at the Titans. So yeah, guess it is what it is. But yeah, a few other clubs, like just going through the list at the moment, like a few other clubs have got a whole lot of players returning in round 3. Like, I think what would we be up to? We'd be up to like what, round 15 or something, round 16 of the NRL, if it had carried on.
Maybe I don't really know.
Yeah. But what we would have had one Origin, like just gone. So it's kind of crazy to think how much of it we've missed in just such a short, like what feels like such a short time. Like it feels long, but it feels short at the same time, and you end up missing a whole lot of stuff. So it's definitely interesting. But yeah, let's move away from that. Kind of don't want to talk about the one ref rule and stuff. I think they probably made a few decisions that could probably ruin the the spectator aspect? What do you reckon?
I haven't really paid a great deal of attention. I saw that they were down to one ref though.
Yeah,
So,
and then it's like,
cool. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, and then instead of a penalty at the ruck, or a ruck penalty, instead of a stoppage for a penalty, it's just an automatic new set of 6. So that's going to be interesting to see how one ref's going to be able to watch everything plus watch for those small ruck infringements without wanting to stop the game and start again, sort of thing. So yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Are they still doing Origin, or is Origin like, are they? What's happening? Is that happening?
Three Origin series in November, back to back. So Wednesday, which will be pretty good. I know a couple of organisations that do like a bit of a fundraiser for a couple of the Origin games. So it'll be interesting to see if they go ahead with those. Obviously, it'll all be up to social distancing, etc. But there's some pretty good ones in Auckland that I like to frequent to go and check out how they're going. So it'll be interesting to see how those kind of things come out of it. But yeah, in other news, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, his daughter, she's going to be in the WWE. Are you excited?
She's not my type.
She's not your type. Why is she not your type?
Well, Caleb has a specific type of professional wrestler he likes to watch, and I just don't think she's going to fit the style that I'm looking for.
You're a favorite of Stephanie McMahon, aren't you?
No, I'm more of a favorite of I like Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. So if yeah.
I don't know who that is. So
well, you could have a look at them on Instagram. I think they're just Alexa Bliss, and the other was just Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a look and see how we're going. But yeah. Obviously, last Thursday we moved into, or last Wednesday night, 11:59 p.m. We moved to Level 2, which opened up all the retail stores. Well, not all of them, but most of the retail stores around the country. Have you been out and been anywhere to sort of check it out?
Thursday. I feel like on Thursday, did I go anywhere? No, I didn't go anywhere on Thursday. Did I go anywhere on Thursday? Oh, yeah, I just went to Countdown on Thursday night. No. Friday. I went to Sal's Pizza on Friday.
How was that?
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. There was a well, you know, it's been a long time in lockdown, so haven't seen people of another sex for a while, and I was having a little you know, just my eyes were wandering, and I was having a look at the person serving me, and we had a little bit of chemistry going on, a little bit of laughing, asked how I was and all that, and then heard her over talking to the boss, complaining about her study period at school has she's not allowed to have her study period anymore. They've like cancelled it for year 13 students, and she's not allowed to go to the library. The principal put out a message about that. So yeah, 25-year-old Caleb was checking out a 17 or 18-year-old girl, which was pretty cool. So, you know, some things never change.
Some things never change. You are well known to be a little bit of enjoying the younger female.
When we talk about younger, we mean like a couple months younger.
Couple months younger than legal.
You can't really say that.
Oh, joking.
You know, we've all heard this saying, if her age is on the clock, she's old enough for...
I'm done.
If there's grass on the wicket, you're able to play cricket.
It's horrible. You can't say that, Caleb.
I've got one more. I've got one more. We're definitely getting demonetized for this one. If she's able to bleed, she's able to.
I'm out.
I don't think that's so bad anymore now. Thanks for watching the Late Cut with Josh and Caleb. Next week it'll just be the Late Cut with Josh because Caleb will probably be in jail.
Disgraceful, Caleb. I had to have a moment.
Guys, very disappointed of you.
Why?
Oh, I bring up if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed, and then you fap off for a few seconds and then come back. Oh.
I just went to throw up at my friend because that's disgraceful. But anyway, retail stores. I've been to Kmart twice. Been to the warehouse twice. Went to the warehouse twice. Guess what I bought, Caleb?
What did you buy?
Bought Easter eggs.
They still have them.
Yeah, and they're like $2 each, like $1.97 for like the Flash Cadbury Easter eggs.
Oh man, I was under the impression they gave all the Easter eggs away.
No, there's heaps there. Did that, and then went to Kmart. Yes, you do. You were eating chocolate just before, but I went to.
As a gift, I'm not buying that stuff anymore. It's bad for the environment.
Yeah. Went to Kmart, bought a selfie ring holder thing, which I'm using at the moment. So it's quite good for lighting up my life. So you go like this. Just makes everything a little bit more brighter because Caleb needs a bit of brightening up today. So yeah, that's my cool story. Have you done any online shopping lately?
No, I don't shop online.
Nah? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, just don't trust people. I just don't trust people in general. So credit card information and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna shop online. I just don't have enough trust in people, and then I don't trust my courier drivers to deliver my parcels anymore. And I don't want people to know where I live.
I know where you live.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. Usually when I take people to my house for the first time, if I'm got a new friend or I'm telling people where I live, I'll send them the address about 5 houses up the road. So I'll be like, oh yeah, come to number 23, and then I'll wait there, and then I'll walk them down to my house. Have a funny story. I was bringing, this was not a female friend, this was like one of my, it might have even been you, Josh, I think, the first time you came to my house, and I actually drove around the block 3 times before I got there, so they didn't know where I lived. I don't know if it was you. I did that with someone from uni, though. I drove around. There's like a little block thing, like you just drive around the block. So I actually drove past my house about 3 times before I actually stopped, and they were like, haven't we been here? I was like, no, it's a different street. Yeah, I do.
No, it wasn't me. Wasn't me.
If I'm walking back to my house with anyone, I will walk them a really complicated way so they don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Uber drivers, like Uber, I always get them to drop me off at the top of the road, or either the top or like there's a middle part, so I just say, oh yeah, stop here, and then I walk the rest of the way. I just don't trust people. I don't
Fair enough. I like going to visit Caleb's house for his grandma. So I like her. She's cool. We're having a bit of a conversation before we got on here today. Miss you, Grandma. Yeah. I've done heaps of online shopping. Interesting one the one that I just did last week was Rebel Sport, or last Wednesday. Rebel Sport had a one-day sale on, like 40% off, online only, because obviously they were opening up the stores the next day. So I jumped on, ordered a pair of scrumming boots, pair of boots to coach in, kicking tee because I think I'm a first 5, pair of shorts and a pair of chucks, and I got it all for like $300, so it's a bit of a bargain. And so I've slowly been getting all the messages and saying that, hey, your order's ready to be shipped, and they're shipping like one thing at a time. And I thought it was a bit weird, so I checked it out to see where they're all coming from. And I've got 5 items coming from 5 different places all over the country. There's like 1 in Auckland, 1 in Hamilton, 1 in Wellington, or Petone, 2 in Christchurch. So bit interesting. I didn't really expect that kind of gobbledygook from Rebel Sport, but I guess all their stock's probably in their shops. So
I just assumed they had like a warehouse somewhere full of all the stock.
Yeah, you kind of would assume so, but obviously not. Obviously they chuck everything together in their shops and save on those costs. But yeah, that's pretty much us for today. It's been good to be back on, mate. It's been good to see you. Miss your face. Good. Had a conversation with an influencer. He's sort of come about mainly from TikTok and through lockdown. Approached him, asked him if he'd be keen to come on the show. So we are just organising the details to get Uncle Tix on the show. So should be either this next episode or the episode after. We'll have Uncle Tix on for the whole time. We'll have a bit of a yarn, see what he's up to, see what fame is given him. He was on Multi TV 2 nights ago or something. So yeah, pretty excited for that, and excited to catch up with Caleb again. Good. Are you okay, Caleb?
Are we ever okay in life?
Now, Caleb, I want you to smile. We all love you, and drink some grapefruit juice because it's really good for you. It's the best.
Don't like grapefruit juice.
It's the best. All right, thanks for tuning in.
Sour like me.
Cold-hearted. Thanks for tuning in to our slightly depressing first YouTube episode. We look forward to the next one, and we will catch you over the next few days. Thank you to everyone, all of our listeners and viewers. Yeah, see you later. You're going to say bye, Caleb. Bye, Caleb.